Cheap Homesteading. I'm in the garage this morning and I just got a package from Princess Auto. I'll give you a little bit of backstory. This bench here I'm going to turn into my small engine repair bench. I need a vise on it so I could clamp a chainsaw bar or hold a carburetor or something. It doesn't have to be that strong or even that heavy, but I thought I'll look around and see if I can find an antique vise that I can kind of maybe go over, restore it, or whatever the case may be. I looked around and it is absolutely crazy what people want for antique vices. You know what? They're probably great quality. They're just awesome, but they are pretty much wanting full price of a new vise. So I thought I'll look around for a while, see if I can find one that was a good price, and I just couldn't. Week after week I looked and there was just nothing. There's no vices that were a good price. So I happened to look at the Princess Auto flyer that came, and there was a vise in there that was a 4-inch vise and it was like 50 bucks, which was a really good price. So I went into the Princess Auto and the shelf was empty. One thing about Princess Auto, they bring in a ton of stock for their sales, so I'm pretty sure they probably had lots. They just got all sold. They're gone. So I thought, that is great. So I looked online, and they actually have a pretty good website, and it looked like you could order it, and it was 12 bucks for them to deliver it, so I thought, why not? So I ordered it, and I followed the tracking, and this one was in the Sudbury store, and they sent it to me here in Ottawa. So I was super happy with that. That came pretty like 3 days. It was here, so it was just awesome. So we're gonna open it today, and we're gonna take a look at it and see what it looks like. There you go. Wow, look at that. That is actually decently heavy. It's actually a 5-inch vise. I thought it was a 4-inch. That is absolutely awesome. So let's open the box. Okay. Actually looks really, really good. Let's take the plastic off. I'll tell you one thing about this vise that I like. It isn't pivoting. You know those vices that pivot like this? I find even if you put like a little cylinder in it or you have to take a fitting off, you can never get the vise tight enough that it won't turn when you're trying to pull it with a wrench. Not that I'm going to put a ton of pressure on this because it looks good, but it still is a Chinese vise. I don't think it's going to be really that strong. But really after a while, those pivoting vices, you can't tighten it enough to actually keep it from turning. They just turn easily after a while. So this is way better than I thought it was going to be. I don't know what I thought it was going to look like, but I'm actually pretty impressed with the Princess Auto vices. There's nothing wrong with that. I want to mount the vise somewhere here. I'll tell you, normally you want this jaw to be level with the outside edge so you can actually put a bar in it and put the bar to the floor. But I'm using this for a totally different purpose. My goal is to push this back as far as I can, that I can actually close this and I don't hit my hand on the bench when I'm opening it. But it is far enough back that when I have my chainsaw clamped in here, the chainsaw is as close to the bench as possible. So if I'm taking something off it, I can set it down and I'm not awkwardly reaching over top of the chainsaw. So I think that is where I'm going to bolt it down. So let's bolt it down. You can still open it without hitting the edge of the bench, which I want. Okay, so let's mark the holes and drill them.
that actually works pretty decent. This thing doesn't have a whole lot of stability. I mean, you got the 3/8 plywood and you got this thin piece of steel, but really just to hold the chainsaw and everything, this is going to work good.
Chainsaw. So this is going to be a good bench for fixing my chainsaws. The Princess Auto vise really just helps it along. It's nice to have a nice stable surface to clamp your chainsaws to. So yeah, so this is going to work out really good. I have a few backlog chainsaw projects. I have one that is a Husqvarna 55 rebuild. I have all the parts and I just haven't got to it. And I have another one that is actually my antique home light zip saw. I've ordered all the parts to rebuild that chainsaw, at least the ones I could get, and I just haven't got around to it. So hopefully in the next little bit we're gonna do that, but you know what, there's always stuff to do. So that's about enough for today, and you guys have a good one.